Whew. Oh man, ooh, that's good. My husband made a really nice cup of coffee today. Welcome to Get Offset. My name is Emily, and I'm here today with the Rainger FX Snare Trap. It's a little pedal board drum machine. You know, it's a pedal board drum machine. I've played with a few things like this. Most notably, I've played with the Boss RC10R. That's a looper with a rhythm section, and that one has a bunch of preset drum patterns. There's an A and a B pattern. You can change out the kit so it can sound like basically however you want it to sound. It's a really neat thing. It's mostly a looper. This is something completely different. This is a lot more customizable for how you want it to sound in some ways, and in other ways it is kind of what it is. It's just a matter of, is what it is right for you? Will it make you happy? Will it elevate your music? I would love to help you figure that one out. Personally, I like it a lot. Let's talk about it. It's called the Snare Trap. It's by Rainger FX, and it comes with this little sheet that will tell you what all of these knobs, dials, switches, inputs, outputs are. There's quite a lot. So I'm not going to get into every single thing. I'm especially not going to get into the more advanced things, the triggering for the bass drum, snare drum, and hi-hat. I'm not going to get into the side chain, which you can turn on and off there. I am going to get into pretty much everything else. So I'm just going to start kind of where it makes sense in my brain to start. The volume, that's the overall output from the pedal. You also have a mix. You can have all beats, all snare trap, all instrument, and everywhere in between. You have the snare shape. You can shape, let me make, okay, that's fine. Like, how would my nails look? You can set a shape on the snare. You can also remove any reverberation from the snare sound. There gives it a deader sound. Some people may like that. If you're running reverb pedals after this, maybe you want that. And I will be running at least one pedal after this in the demo. What I won't be doing is I won't be running it with an instrument. I just don't want to get into that today. I will eventually. I promise. You also have this little hi-hat switch. Up, the hi-hats are on 8s and down there on 4s. And you also can change where the second bass drum hit is in the bar. So by default, it's on the 1 and the 3, and it's the one that's by default on the 3, and by default I mean all the way counterclockwise, turn to the left, that little dial. Right? Over here, we have this snare delay section. The send this is just for the snare. No bass, no hi-hats on delay. So that's a mix. You can go from full dry to full wet. You have the rate, and you have the feedback. That's the number of repeats. Great. You have this little LFO rate that you can switch on and off. It is a low-pass filter, as is this. So you can control that either manually, or you can have this little LFO running. You push that down and you will see that will start to light up. I personally I use it more manual just to kind of filter out some of those highs, but it is pretty neat, the LFO. So I mentioned that it came with this itty bitty little manual. On the back you can also see a quick start guide, and you can also see my light and the reflection. My little shoe light. All right, let's get you back down there. Cool. So the only button I haven't covered yet is this pad button. You press the pad button down to tap in your tempo. All you need are 2 taps. And if you want to start over, you do 1 long hold, but you can correct it. It recommends small corrections, because if you do too big of a correction, it can kind of make everything go a little wackadoodle. So you can trigger the tap tempo, And then if you want, you can push the toggle, push that button again, it goes up, and you have access to this white noise sound. Kind of cool. I just realized I'm playing this through the Strymon Iridium. I'm going to go ahead and turn the room all the way down. Everything else is pretty much in the middle. It's on the round B setting. And the reason I'm doing that instead of going direct, which I believe you could do, is because most of the time you're playing this, unless you're using like a splitter, you're gonna be feeding that into your drum, into your amp. So let's go ahead and start making beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can hear the bass drum on the 1 and the 3. You can hear the hi-hats on the 8s. I don't have any delay. I guess I did have a little delay. Now I don't have any delay. The filter's all the way up, not filtering anything out, and the shape of the snare is in the middle. I'm going to first adjust the shape of the snare. So you can basically tune the snare, which I think is pretty cool. A little more mellow all the way to the left, a little harsher all the way to the right. You can also tune the snare with the dry switch down. Just deadens it. Not a natural sound particularly, but a neat sound. Turn that back on. Let's hear the hi-hats on the 4s. All right. I'm going to leave the hi-hats on the 4s while I adjust where the second bass drum kick is. It really changes the whole mood, and it really makes it, I think it makes it pretty cool sounding. Just letting you listen to it. I like that right now. So I'm going to put the hi-hats back on the 8s. On the 8s it propels it a lot more, and it's a lot more laid back with it on the 4s. Let's look at this low pass filter a little bit. It almost feels like you're slowing it down when you do that, but you're not. I like to filter out just a smidge of it. But let's listen to the LFO. Right now I have it set very slow. It adds a neat character. I like it. I think it's very apparent at this speed. What happens when we have it on the LFO setting and do a manual adjustment? I think it becomes a lot less apparent. If you're going to use that manual setting, I think that you should keep the, if you're going to use these two together, it's hard. That's just from my ears. Maybe your ears work better than mine, which is very possible. But if you want to use the LFO rate, I kind of recommend keeping the cutoff pretty high. It's pretty cool. All right. So what I am going to, I'm actually going to turn the volume down there. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to play this through the Ghost FX by Dwarfcraft devices. Unfortunately, Dwarfcraft devices doesn't really exist anymore, but this is a really fun phaser pedal. So Phaser Days, I swear. Oh, there it is. I even have a matching patch cable for it. So I guess I'll just do this. I guess I just will. If you also loved Dwarfcraft devices, tell me in the comments what was your favorite Dwarfcraft pedal. Mine was the Grazer. It still is. Alright, that looks nice. Get my power. Oop. I'm sorry if the Dwarfcraft pedal's a little out of focus. It's a taller, much taller pedal. Is that even plugged in? Maybe. There we go. Alright, so let's get that volume back up. The Ghost FX is not on yet. I'm going to turn the pulse down for a moment. That over there. I like that a lot, man. It's a farce this wasn't like the pedal of the year. Man. I just don't trust people who don't put drum machines through phasers. It's the funnest. It is the most fun. So, I mean, obviously whatever pedal you put through the snare trap, like whatever instrument you put through the snare trap, it's going, like the effects you have before it, that's all going to kind of translate through cleanly like a looper pedal. And then when you put things after it, that's when it's going to start to impact the sound of the drum. And I've put this through a lot of things. I've put the snare trap through the Mood. That was kind of fun. Delay pedals were okay-ish fun. I put it through a delay pedal and it was okay. I feel like there were like just too many bleeps and bloops for it to really feel effective. I didn't really put it through any dirt. I didn't think that would be particularly compelling. I am going to put it next through the Reverb X. That's obviously another Rainger FX pedal that I think sounds really, really good with it. It shouldn't be too surprising. but I'm going to put the snare trap through this. I'm going to have the gated function on because I think a gated reverb with a drum is going to be really cool. I'm going to do the, you know, I just realized I didn't do the delay function. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off this pedal, move it over here, move that back to the middle, and let's explore the delay on the snare some. All right. Two repeats kind of sounds like the minimum. I know it looks like they're slaying on my face. It's just it. But you can get it self-oscillating pretty quickly. It almost just sounds like you're getting extra hits when you have the feedback down low and you kind of adjust the rate to your taste. They're not all winners. So just adjust to taste. You can't turn the mix all the way up. And you actually hear exactly how quick the repeat is there. Nice. I like that. All right. So now I'm going to turn that back down. I am going to plug in the Rainger FX Reverb X. And again, I am sorry that it took me a minute, that I almost forgot, but I didn't forget, so don't yell at me too much. I corrected my mistake. Please calm down, angry people. Neat. Because the Reverb X has that dirt on the trail of the reverb. I have the gate on. It's on the dark setting. I'm going to turn it to the bright. Neat, yeah? So that's worth talking about, is that the LFO also very much factors into the white noise sound. If you want to use that. And you can just hold for 1 second, stops the snare trap. The white noise works even if you don't have a beat set. And factors into the delay as well. I don't know why I keep holding this hand up. Nice. Cool, so that is a look at the snare trap, mostly alone, with a couple little key friends put in that demo. Check them out if you want to use an affiliate code making this purchase or any purchase. We have codes in the video description for Sweetwater and for Reverb. Using those costs you nothing extra, but does help support this channel and helps me make videos like this. Please like, comment, subscribe below. Check out the podcast, check out the Patreon at patreon.com/getoffset, and we have merch at getoffsetpodcast.com/shop. Well, until next time, thanks for watching, thanks for understanding. My name is Emily. Goodbye.